should check in with Matteo or Noel.
Hey, I've been talking with the others, and I'd like to get everyone together. To say goodbye. You know. To Sam. Thank you. It wouldn't be the same without you there. I'll have everything set up in a few days.
Matteo told us about your pilgrim's voyage.
You found it, didn't you? The meaning of unity. What? It can't be.
Our colleague is alive in some alternate dimension? Am I hearing this right?
Let's take a step back. This is everything we've been building towards, and the implications are a lot to take in. Could you explain the part about multiple universes one more time for everyone?
Yes, I wouldn't mind a little more detail.
And that's why the Starborn want the artifacts so desperately. They're the keys to unlocking the infinite.
I don't even want to think about the physiological changes you'd need to travel between universes.
Plus what it would do to the mind? Enlightenment? Or oblivion? Like the Hunter.
You have the opportunity to reach the closest thing to your god that might exist. And you're second-guessing it?
One doesn't approach the afterlife without some trepidation. You're right. We have to see the unity for ourselves.
I know this has been a lot for everyone to take in, but we finally have answers. Let's make the best of them.
Not to make a sharp turn in a grand tale, but I got the eye fixed up. Bruised, but still blinking. Let me know when you're ready to follow up on what it's seen. These last glimpses from the eye are from the farthest fringes of known space. Could be the only remaining pieces outside the hands of the Starborn. Catch a smile out there.
I need to inventory all our equipment and other odds and ends for damages.
Don't worry about me. You go do what you have to do. I'll be okay. Hi. So many people here. So many people saying goodbye. Huh. Are we supposed to feel better? Just because we're all in one place? What's the point? It's not going to change anything. I just feel like I want to be a million light years away from everyone. I want to be alone for a while, okay?
You know, I had a bet with Sam. Which one of us would end up attending the others? You know. I guess that's 50 credits that won't see circulation in the settled systems economy ever again. Look, I don't know who I should speak to about this, but Cora and I talked, and she's coming to live with me. Right now, she's taking it all so hard. She wants to get away from here. In time, maybe she'll come back. She talked about you all the time. But right now, she just needs to get away from all the reminders of Sam. We'll be leaving soon, so say your goodbyes to her, if you like.
I don't really feel like talking.
I will be monitoring everyone's vitals for signs of continued
Our own
trauma.
founder left on an expedition and never returned. It is easy to talk about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you, Sarah. If anyone else would like to say a few words. Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind, but what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny whitecaps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything?
I don't often speak about what I believe in. It seems so redundant with how I live. But death is one of those occasions where it's hard not to look inward. Our friend is gone. There's no afterlife, or second meetings. No God in heaven that is curating a perfect ending for them. So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from all this. Humanity is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
You all might not like thinking about this, but when we die, everything about us breaks down, decomposes, gets eaten up by insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a biosphere, we are simply carried away by space and time until we sizzle in a distant sun's corona or get pulled in some gravitational field and coalesce with other debris. Not comforting, huh? But I disagree. Do you know what I find uncomfortable? The thought that after I die, the universe is just going to stand still forever. Could you imagine? The fact is that the universe goes on, that life goes on, that things do not just sit still. That right there is the comfort that I need. Yeah, we die, and some people go way before they should. But the universe doesn't care. Not because it's evil, but because it's infinite, ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity, even if it's just for a short while? Listen, we don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We emerge from the universe as we return to it. And for one beautiful moment, we are here together.
Yes. That certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Hey, how are you holding up? It's not really going to hit me until later. Right now, I just need everyone else to be okay. That's understandable. People often feel numb after a shock, even days later. Just don't push yourself, okay? We all need to take time for ourselves, especially now. We'll get through this. It might feel like everything's falling apart, but that's why we need to stick together. Anytime.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals, but, well. You don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but... Yes. Won't we all? Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. No, it's fine. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
You know, what you're feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal is promoting social cohesion. Never seems to work for me. No matter how many times I do this, I feel less attached, not more. Well, look at us. Two lone wolves howling at the moon on the same night. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and there it'll be. Some old paperweight of theirs, or a piece of jewelry they gave you, half jokingly. Theoretically, of course. Nope, not even for a moment. Funerals are there to remind survivors that they aren't alone. The dead have already finished their part in our story. You're welcome.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. Yes, we don't have a way of knowing whether we really touch the departed with our grief. We just have to have faith. It's just easier to feel guilty, if you'll excuse me.
You go do what you have to do. I'll be okay.
Constellation has suffered losses before, although none quite so violently. I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and biometric data so I can cross-reference. But I do not feel as you seem to imply. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming. It will take some time to adapt, but it will be okay. How was that? I will note that feedback for later.
My boy. I've lost my boy. What do you mean? Nothing wrong with me and my son. Sure, we yell. Families are supposed to yell at each other. It's what keeps us honest. If you can't show your worst side to the people closest to you, who can you?
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion.
I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... It is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. Aye.
Individual depression can be considered a disease, but collective depression is considered therapeutic.
I picked up something you might be interested in. Well, hello, sunshine.
Hey, you might want this.
Actually, yes, I do. Here you are. Talk to you again soon, darling.
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Volterra?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3.
It's amazing to think that we're
1.
standing on the same planetary body where humankind first ventured into space.
Canaveral.
We've come a long way since
All
then.
clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova. All clear. To land this ship.
Captain Solo, greetings.
The most likely way into the NASA facility would be via an elevator shaft taking us straight down. Hopefully the system is still in operation. I hope the occupants of this colony ship found alternate transportation to evacuate the Earth before it was too late. Was in loading position. I wonder what prevented this particular colony ship from lifting off. Looks like it was some type of crew preparation area. Probably the last step before boarding.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. The recent station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien.
It's definitely seen better days.
Never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about.
Look at all the structural damage.
I got to see the lab.
Around here.
I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
Oh my goodness. Some of the artifacts here are from the earliest years of NASA. Oh, what a shame all of this was left behind to deteriorate.
I just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects, no motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
Not much left of this geology laboratory. Ironically, the surrounding rock appears to have sealed the fate of this part of the facility.
Catastrophic damage.
Well, look at that. It appears we've found one of Vasco's long-lost relatives. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to find out.
Project Log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today.
Project Log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravity tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly.
If there's a way to access the deeper sections of the storage area, I'm certain we'll find it.
They can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives. Expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all the side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
back when we were working on the grav drive projects. Seems like...
I know what I'm seeing, Victor.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at
You're
first.
going to be carrying that gooey mess.
But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
We've arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel. At the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Every grav drive in the settled systems was built on technology that came from an artifact that was discovered on Mars. But these early drives shook the gravity field surrounding Earth. Eventually, the atmosphere started to slowly sputter away into space. That is why Earth is uninhabitable. The artifact gave the scientists a greater understanding of time and space, but not the wisdom to see where that would lead.
The settled systems wouldn't exist without the artifacts, in other words. We owe what happened here in NASA a great debt.
Though I'm normally a devotee of science, I have to admit that in this case, it failed us terribly. And the cost was immeasurable.
Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That is why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
You're right. If this has been happening time and time again, perhaps they've arrived at a total deadlock.
Don't be a fool. The emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he is right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together.
Bravo. I was hoping you'd make that choice. And whatever it takes to make it through this, I swear I'll remain by your side.
Well, look at that. The emissary just became my new best friend.
You've made your choice. When you're ready, the Hunter and I will be at the buried temple. That's where we'll settle things.
Meaning, we'll kill you. But hey, at least we'll wait. The final round doesn't start until there's only one artifact left to gather. And if I'm not mistaken, Constellation has one or two to go.